What is going on, everybody? This is sort of an impromptu video. I did not anticipate to make any videos for a while. I haven't really thought about any new solo content I could do for a while either, because, you know, as you know, I've mostly been uploading anime episode reviews with Blue Spade and the podcast episodes. However, I am considering, after the new year, going back to doing solo content. I just need to think of video ideas. That's kind of been my problem ever since I started the new channel, is, you know, having my old channel that had like over like 2,000 subscribers just be completely nuked by YouTube because of copyright. You know, even though my videos were fair use, but you know, that kind of kills your motivation to make any sort of new videos. However, I really needed to make a video about this. I saw this on my Twitter feed this morning. This is, I mean, as you can see in the video title, this is the opening for the Tsukihime Remake. We have not gotten any news about, really, maybe very little news about the Tsukihime Remake since it was, well, you know, first announced all the way back in 2012, actually. It's been that long. It is almost 2021. That is how long we have had to wait for any updates, or like, you know, we have gotten updates. We got a lot of updates, I think, in 2015, and then it's really been since then that we haven't really gotten much of anything. So now we all of a sudden have the remake opening dropped on us, as well as a release date. So basically what this video is going to be is I'm just going to be kind of giving my general thoughts and like kind of breaking down this opening, because I've watched it like multiple different times at this point, just because I'm so fucking hyped after seeing this. But yeah, so when this comes out, I know people have been asking me all these questions about my visual novel Let's Plays. I for a while I thought about, you know, just more or less retiring from it, because I haven't really done any new visual novel Let's Play videos. But this might cause me to go back to it. Like, if this comes out on PC, and if more importantly, if this gets an English release, that's another thing. If this gets a release in English, then yeah, I definitely will be doing a playthrough. But if we have the same situation that we had with Witch on the Holy Night, then that's going to be a lot more complicated. Speaking of which, I am thinking of doing some new videos on that. I hate to say it, guys, I don't think I've mentioned this. The reason why I haven't really uploaded a lot of the visual novel playthroughs, you know, my old ones, is because they're kind of permanently gone. Like, I had a lot of them on my old channel, and I don't, what happened with them? I think they got lost on one of my hard drives, so like a lot of them are gone, unfortunately. So that's why a lot of the old ones haven't gone back up. I know a lot of people wanted to see them back up. I'm sorry, they're kind of permanently gone, unfortunately. As we know, YouTube is definitely not going to restore my old channel. So I'm pretty much going to, you know, with this new channel, it's more or less a fresh start. The only problem is I really don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of want to, I'm probably going to be going back to how I approached, you know, the kind of content I was doing on the old channel. Anyways, like I was saying, if this does get an English release, I will be doing a playthrough of it. It just depends. I'm assuming this is going to, you know, drop in Japan, but I'm really hoping that we get it like an official translation this time, instead of fans having to, you know, translate it themselves. But anyway, before we even, well, actually, I think we need to go back a little bit. I think I have gone a little bit too far. Okay, so we're just going to let it play, and then we're going to stop at certain points. I'm really crossing my fingers. I'm not going to get a copyright strike or something for this, or get my video blocked. I just really want to talk about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and start. As you can see, this is Ufotable, and Ufotable is definitely doing this opening, as you can tell. Like, it definitely looks like Ufotable. And you shouldn't be surprised, because Ufotable has done the openings for the Fate visual novels, or, you know, the Fate visual novel. So this isn't too surprising. But as we can see, here is the Tono Mansion. The Tono Mansion looks a little bit different from the original. Well, maybe not too different. Like, the problem with the original game is that it was using, like, real backgrounds, not, like, drawn backgrounds like we're seeing, you know, like we're seeing here, for example. The original game was made all the way back in 2001, and it's basically they approached it the same way as like the original Higurashi visual novel, where they, you know, they pretty much were just using like real backgrounds and just putting it through like filters and stuff. Here this is actually like drawn, so it's definitely everything's gonna look pretty different. But I really like how this looks. Like, it looks bigger. Well, I mean, it looks as big as I would imagine it was supposed to look like in the original novel, and it did look pretty big from what we saw in the original novel. But this just looks, I don't know, maybe it's just like because of the camera angle, but it just looks really big. And of course we have like this huge water fountain in front. I don't really remember that. I think they added some things like that. I think that's new. But let's continue. Of course, we have Shiki walking down the street. Really like that shot. Really like this shot too, just the way they pan around the classroom. Yumizuka is featured prominently here. If you don't know, that's Yumizuka Satsuki. One of the rumors from the was that Yumizuka was going to have like a route in this in the remake, and there's going to be a lot of differences in the remake, like just the new story elements, and you know, Yumizuka herself is going to have a route. Yumizuka in the original did not have a route. She was featured more prominently in certain routes though. You know, the I think, what was it, the Akiha route comes to mind, where she basically was turned into a familiar, and you know, we had to kill her. So she kind of has a tragic fate in the visual novel, and in the original visual novel, and it's kind of been like sort of a running joke within the you know, the type moon properties that she doesn't have a route. The same thing with Ilya, also from the Fate series. You know, she doesn't have a route. But yeah, Yumizuka's gonna have a route this time around, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, I definitely want some new stuff from this remake, so you know, a whole new route is definitely welcome change. That's what was that guy's name? Shiki's friend. He's kind of forgettable, to be honest. Like he's just I kind of want him to have a bigger role too, because I don't really even remember his name. Like, he just was kind of he's just kind of hung around at school, and you know, like, you kind of learn about how they were friends in middle school and stuff, and they like hang out together sometimes, but he's not really like he doesn't really play a big role in the story. So like, I'm kind of hoping that maybe they give him a bigger role this time around, or have him do something, because he didn't do anything in the original visual novel. He just kind of hung around, and that's pretty much all he did. So this is CL. I think you pronounced CL. She's some of the characters have been redesigned. As you can see, Shiki was kind of redesigned a little bit. Like, you know, the art style has definitely been updated to reflect, you know, what we're used to from Ufotable. I mean, that makes sense because I believe it's Takeuchi doing the character designs, and Takeuchi, I want to say, does the character designs for a lot of the Ufotable adaptations. So, and he's doing it for, you know, I'm guessing this visual novel as well. So yeah, this is not too surprising. I think CL definitely looks a lot better. I think all the character designs, the updated character designs, even though I really like the original character designs, there's no problem with them. Even, you know, they're dated at this point, but they're not too dated. But this definitely is a huge step up. So yeah, we see CL in the tea ceremony room. If you remember, CL is like the only member of the tea ceremony club, I think. So it's a little bit weird. She just kind of hangs out there, I guess, just to get away. It sort of makes sense. You know, if you go into the CL route, you learn more about that. But yeah, CL looks pretty fucking good. Akiha looking fucking, holy shit. She does look very similar to how she looked in the original. There's not too much of a difference here. Same thing with the maids. They do very much reflect their original character designs. It's just that, you know, there's more detail in general, more lighting, shading, and all that nice stuff. And I just really like how the camera like comes and zooms in here. It's just it's great. Akiha just kind of just doing the hair flip, like, I know I'm awesome. I don't know. She's not really my favorite heroine from the visual novel. That would be Arkwade. But Akiha, you know, she's kind of a tragic character too. You feel really bad for her, not as much as maybe like Sakura from Fate, but she's also has a kind of a tragic storyline. So I'm wondering if they're going to change that up here. But yeah, this she looks great, very very much. The only character that so far looks, well, two characters look pretty different from their original designs, and that's Arcwade and CL. Also Roa, I think we'll see that in a bit. I really like this effect too. We're also about to see Arcwade. There she is. We already saw what she looked like in the promotional material, like we got back in 2015. This is just her, of course, animated, and god damn, it looks amazing. If you guys don't know what the scene is, which if you've read the original visual novel, you should. This is when Shiki first comes across Arcwade on the street, and of course he just has the desire to murder her, which is totally normal. But yeah, that's probably what this scene is. And this is, oh my god. And you kind of see his expression change too. I think that's, I think his eyes are different. Yeah. Okay, yeah, those are okay. Those are his mystic eyes. I think that's one of his mystic eyes that he causes his, I think it's because it causes his mystic eyes to activate. And then we see the lines of which, the lines of death across everybody around him, which is just god, I love that effect. It looks so great. We saw that in like Karno Kyokai, but it just looks so much better here. I just don't know. Everything just looks so, I just don't know how to describe it. It's just I like the blue tint, and like just the red is just so, like, it just feels like it's heavily saturated, like just oh, it's great. I love the effect of it. Yeah, and then, oh god, that's so cool. That's another effect I really like too, is like, as you can see, the lines of death being cut, because the lines of death don't just apply to people, they apply to objects as well. So like, if you cut an object where the line of death is, then that object will completely fall apart. And we kind of see that happen, like the buildings are crumbling, the wires are just being cut. That's so cool. And then there's blood coming out of it. That looks so great. Like, and just the colors of the sky. God, I love the way this looks. This is just crazy. More people being, oh god, I didn't even notice that. The buildings are just completely destroyed. That's crazy. And the people, of course, as well. Oh, the bright red blood. It's I love how they do these effects, like where the blood is also heavily saturated. It stands out from the background. This is just my artist, my artist self, like, kind of appreciating how good this looks. Holy Christ. Bright red blood. Of course, we got Shiki holding the knife. I think I know what the scene is. I know I'm spoiling the original visual novel. If you haven't read the original visual novel at this point, like, that's my excuse for spoiling. It's an old visual novel. If you haven't read it and you haven't come across any spoilers, like, I mean, I don't know how you manage not to, at least if you're in like the Type Moon / Fate community, you should pretty much know what happens. But of course, this is when Shiki first murders Arcwade, I think, in like a back alley. That's what I think this scene is. And of course we got, if you don't know who this is, like, it's obvious. This is CL. As we know, of course, she's an she is an executor, or the agent of the church, and she's got the black keys there. She looks great, just kind of standing there. That trail of blood looks great. Also, yeah, I think this is Roa. This scene is the attack on the hotel, because I believe we only see this, I think, in the Arcwade route. I think we hear about it in other routes, like Roa attacks this hotel and kills a bunch of people and lets his beasts run around and kill everybody there. I think Yumizuka was there at the time. I think she made it out. I'm not sure. I forget exactly what happened, but if you look at this Roa, he doesn't have black hair. That's the thing that I'm kind of like wondering about. We kind of get a close-up look of him here. This is the white-haired Roa. The white-haired Roa is, I believe, only shows up in like the far side of the moon routes. The other routes we see like the long black hair Roa. Oh, they're kind of like two different people. The role with the long black hair is like, I think he's a reincarnation of Roa or something in the near side of the moon routes. And then in the far side routes, that Roa was reincarnated as like Akiha's real brother, and he looks different. Like he's the real, what was it, Nadia Shiki? But I don't know, they could have changed, certain character details about Roa, so I mean, it might not follow the same plot, the same character, or the same plot lines as the original visual novel. So, maybe it is still near side Roa, his hair just looks different. But I just know that's kind of a defining feature of him from, Far Side Routes, is the Far Side Routes is he looks different. Like he has the white hair, like shorter white hair, as opposed to him having like longer black hair in the original, in the near side routes. And just this camera work is so great. Like just the way they kind of zoom in and zoom into his eyes, and then his mystic eyes activate. I'll just watch this. This is incredible. Unlimited budget works. Oh my god. And then we got Arcwade coming in, and this is, I believe, the fight with Roa. Okay, so that's still Roa. I don't remember, like, okay, if you know anything about Roa, like, I don't remember if he uses blades. He has, like, familiars. Roa has, like, these familiars he creates, and they resemble, like, animals. So they might change that up for the remake, where he doesn't really do that. Because it was kind of silly in the original visual novel, because he would, like, he would have, like, these, like, I think he, out of this like black primordial mud or something, he would create these animals. Like he would have an elephant and a fucking like a cheetah or something come out. So they'll probably change that up, I'm assuming, for the remake, where he'll probably just like, he might still do that, but it might not be like these animals he brings. I don't know, he could still do that, but it looks like he's kind of, the way he's fighting here is a little bit different, because I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember him using these blades. So that's a little bit different, but this fighting animation is insane. Look at that. Holy crap. This, oh man. If you've seen like the Heaven's Feel movies, this is like the level of quality they're bringing. Like I'm kind of like, this is another thing I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they kind of approach the way the gameplay is the same way they did with like Witch on the Holy Night, where they'll have like, actually have like animated like segments. Well, kind of, and it's hard to explain. Like Witch on the Holy Night, like I wouldn't say they're like animated, but they have like moving sprites, and like the background will move, and kind of seems like, I guess you'd say maybe like faux animation, because they would just, like I said, they'd have moving backgrounds, things would move in the background, characters would move, kind of giving the impression of of something being animated or just moving around. And I really liked that. I don't really see any other visual novel doing something like that. So I'm kind of hoping that we get something like that here. So we transition from that. And this is from the prologue. This is when Shiki receives the glasses that make the lines of death, at least temporarily while he's wearing the glasses, they make them invisible. If you don't know, those are magical glasses that I believe Toko Aozaki made. This is Aoko Aozaki. I think she took them from like Toko Aozaki. But yeah, we see that scene, and just we don't really see too much of Aoko. We just kind of see, like a far off glimpse of her. We don't really see her face or anything. So, and she looks very similar to how she's portrayed in every other, like, Multi-Blood or, Tsukihime. That's kind of similar to how she looks here. I'm pretty sure she's going to look a little bit different, but more or less the same. And we see this version of Arcwade. This is Arcwade for, if you don't know. That's the true ancestor version of her. Like, that's the version of her that we see, like, glimpses of in flashbacks and stuff when she's interacting with Roa in the past. That's what this is. It looks incredible. Just everything looks fucking incredible. I don't. We see a silhouette of somebody too. I think this is Roa. Like, I think this is Roa. Like, it looks like him. I don't know. It's definitely not Shiki because, you know, if you note the long hair, it could be Farside Roa. Maybe they're still, if they're still doing that. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I think this is Farside Roa, Far Side of the Moon route version of Roa. If they're still doing that, that is. So I don't know. That's who that could be. Of course, we got Shiki holding a knife. Arcwade showing up. I don't know if this is a specific scene from the Arcwade route. It could be that scene where they're in the park and like Arcwade is kind of like staring into Shiki's eyes with her mystic eyes. Probably not though. I think it's just something I did for the opening, but I like how this is set up. They got her standing there, and then they got her true ancestor self, and the reflection of the water. Oh, this looks amazing. Oh my god, they just blew it out of the park. They just knocked it out of the park here with the animation, the art style. It looks incredible. Like, Ufotable just continues to impress me with everything they do. I'm so excited. Like, I do like the Fate franchise, but I really have for years have been like, why don't you guys go back to something like Tsukihime, or like Witch on the Holy Night? Because I know Nasu was like saying, oh, I might make a sequel to it someday. Of course, I don't know if we're ever going to see that. Are we ever going to get a full translation of Witch on the Holy Night? And then there's kind of that nagging feeling I have with this one too, is this probably might not get an official translation. Like, you know, I'm hyped right now, but then I don't know, maybe it's just going to be years until we actually get this translated in English. I really hope it gets an official translation. But of course, that's the end of the opening itself. And at the end of the opening, we have, oh, and then we got the moon. Oh my god, the moon. Ripples in the water, Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. That's a different title. Because the original was like Tsukihime, something, it was like Blue Moon Under the Crimson Air or something like that. It was a different subtitle. So the subtitle is different. I don't know if it means anything. I guess we'll find out, but yeah, different subtitle, I guess is worth noting. But oh my god, that was incredible. Oh, I love this image too. That's awesome. So we got a confirmed, finally boys, we got a confirmed release date. For like we only had to wait years. So it's summer of 2021. I am hyped as hell, and this is probably only gonna come out in Japan because there's the running meme, of course, that Nasu hates the West. So I don't know if we're going to see an official translation of this. I'm really like crossing my fingers. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing like a Steam icon here. I'm wondering if this is, like, is this only going to be on consoles? This has to be on PC too, right? But I'm seeing, like, no Steam icon or anything, so that's a little bit surprising. I mean, it's kind of weird that it's on PS4. Like, I mean, I would assume that it might get, like, some kind of a next-gen port, but it's on PS4 and the Switch. I feel like PC is probably also going to be announced, though, because I'm genuinely shocked there's no PC icon here. But I don't know. As we know, like, some of the Type Moon stuff hasn't really come onto Steam, so yeah, it's hard to say. It might come to PC, but it might come to other, like, digital distribution platforms. I don't know. I do not know. But I am hyped as hell, boys. I am so fucking hyped. I had to make this video. I had to do this breakdown, just kind of give my thoughts going through the opening and you know, just kind of talking about Tsukihime. But yeah, that's the, I think that's everything, isn't it? Is there anything else? No, just the staff. Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. I don't know why that's the subtitle. That's a little bit strange. But I'm hoping this is going to be the release date, but yeah, unfortunately, I expect this to just drop in Japan, and then, best case scenario, this comes out in Japan, and it might eventually get, like, an official translation, like, maybe either 2022, or later 2021, it'll come out in the West. Maybe that's being a little bit too optimistic. you know, either it gets an official translation later on. Well, really, like, that is the best case scenario, but, you know, maybe even it gets a, you know, it comes out in the West at the same time. I highly, highly doubt it. But knowing how things have gone with the Type Moon properties, such as Fate and Tsukihime, and of course Witch on the Holy Night being the most infamous example, I honestly expect it will not get an official translation, and all the weebs and the otakus will be scrambling to do a fan translation of this, and it'll probably get done by maybe 2030, 2031. We get like an official translation, you know, because that's kind of how Witch on the Holy Night has gone. When did that fucking game come out? What was it, like 2012? It's 2020. It's about to be 2021. There still is not the official translation, still not finished. So I don't know, guys. Unfortunately, as a fan of, you know, Nasu's other works aside from Fate, you know, such as Mahou Sukai no Yoru, Witch on the Holy Night, and Tsukihime, I am unfortunately used to disappointment. But this is the best thing I could have gotten for you know, in regards to that. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. Are you hopeful that this will actually get like an official translation this time around, or do you think this is just going to end up being the same as Mahou Sukai no Yoru, Witch on the Holy Night, where it just will sit for years and just be translated off and on by the fans, and we'll have to wait years until it's actually finished? Or do you think we'll actually get an official translation? Also, you know, I wonder if this remake does well. Like, are we ever going to get like another Tsukihime anime where they actually do the original visual novel justice, and it's done by Ufotable? What do you think about that? Like, because honestly, this has given me some hope, but I just don't know. I mean, as we all know, Fate is a cash cow, and they're going to continue to milk Fate Grand Order and any Fate property dry until they give any love to something like Tsukihime, unfortunately. But, you know, that's kind of how it has been. And not that I mind. I like the Fate franchise, but like I said, I like Nasu's other stuff too, and I just don't feel like it gets enough love. And we're finally getting something where it's actually, you know, something like Tsukihime is actually getting some attention for once. But that's the thing that annoys me. Like, we've just gotten radio silence about the Tsukihime remake for years, and then of course all of a sudden we just have this opening dropped on us, you know, which is fine. I mean, it's probably the best, you know, post-Christmas gift or New Year's gift you could have gotten. You know, we got the Evangelion trailer earlier a few days ago, and then of course now we have the Tsukihime remake opening, and man, it is. Hopefully, it will wipe away the stain of 2020, where, you know, we'll actually get some decent stuff coming out in 2021 that'll make us happy. But a man can dream. A man can dream. Let me know what you thought about this video. Crossing my fingers it doesn't get blocked or, you know, copyright struck. But it's worth the risk because I want to talk about this, and you know, God damn it, I'm going to do it. But let me know what you guys thought about this, and until next time, I will see you all later.